Welcome to the Racing Source. This week, the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series drivers head to Dover International Speedway to take on the Monster Mile. Out of the 16 chase drivers, 4 will be eliminated in the first elimination round of the chase. This is round 3 of 10 in the chase, and we'll also talk about the Tony Stewart case and what's happening with him. All that and much more. Racing Source starts now.
Woo! So, hey, welcome to the Racing Source. I am Tom Mabe. Let me introduce your host, Josh Mabe. How you going, Josh?
Hello. What's going on?
Not a whole lot. So I'm concerned. I'm not concerned. I feel bad for what drivers you think will be eliminated from the chase.
Well, there are a couple surprises in the chase this year, like first-time winners like Eric Almirola and AJ Allmendinger. If they don't, those are two that don't really run well on a consistent basis,
right?
And they just happen to get a win. So I wouldn't be surprised if those two guys got eliminated. But let's talk about Almirola for a second.
Yeah.
What a big win for him. He drives the number 43 car for Richard Petty Motorsports. He got the win at Daytona 20 years after Richard Petty won his famed 200th race.
Now, what's his name? AJ
Allmendinger. He won at Watkins Glen.
Now, the guy who just won this last one, the Richard Petty guy, what's his name again?
Almirola.
Now, how many races has he won in the past 5 years?
This is his first career win.
First career win. Now, isn't he from like...
For Sprint Cup. He's won some nationwide races when he was driving for Dale Jr.
Where's he from? Where's that guy from? He's not from Australia. Who's the guy from Australia?
No, that's Marcus Ambrose.
So, okay, now
we have an announcement about him. He's leaving NASCAR at the end of this season.
And he's going to be sell Mary Kay full time. What's he going to do?
No, he's going to be driving he's going back to Australia where he's from and driving V8 supercars for Penske. Juan Montoya also left NASCAR and is now driving for Penske.
Now, didn't Montoya come back for the road race a couple weeks ago?
No, not the road races. He drove at Indianapolis.
See, here's the deal. So you guys are just tuning in. You're listening to The Racing Source with my son. It's his show, Josh Mabe. Now, he knows everything and anything about NASCAR, and I'm educating myself. Okay, let's. So Ambrose is one. He's out
at the end of the year.
He's completely out.
He's leaving Richard Petty Motorsports.
And he may or may not be in the chase.
He's not in the chase. And his teammate, who we just talked about, Eric Almirola, he is in the chase.
See, I get those two, Ambrose and Almirola, I get them mixed up. Almirola is leaving, going back to Australia.
No, Ambrose is leaving, going back to Australia. Almirola's in the chase right now. He's the one who won at Daytona.
Who's on first? I don't know. Folks, I'm sorry. I know nothing about NASCAR. My son, Josh, has educated me. What's going on with Carl Edwards?
Well, he just announced that he's, after much speculation, like the worst-kept secret in NASCAR this season, he will be joining Joe Gibbs Racing with Denny Hamlin, Matt Kenseth, and Kyle Busch. He will be driving the number 19 Toyota next season. 19? Isn't that Tony Stewart's old number? No, 20 was Tony Stewart's old
number. Who was 19? Was 14 Tony Stewart?
14's Tony Stewart right now.
Okay. This is awful. I feel so bad. I'm sorry. I'm running your show. But
it's fine. I like educating you on this.
No, this is great. Now, I do know enough about NASCAR to know that there's a certain NASCAR driver on the Dances with the Stars. Who's that? What's going on there?
Yeah, Michael Waltrip.
What do you think what do you think the NASCAR fans are thinking about this guy on Dances with the Stars? Do you have any thoughts on that?
Well, I've watched both weeks, and I think he's doing a okay job. This last week, he was in the bottom 2 and was about to be eliminated. He was in the bottom 2, so someone else got eliminated. But, he did get the lowest score of the week. So,
but he's in, and I tell you why he's in right now, because my son tweeted and reached out to all the NASCAR fans and his buddies saying vote for Michael Waltrip right now. And so I think you voted 14 times on each phone we have on the house. And
yes,
you can vote 14 times, right?
Last week it was 12 times the phone line. So here's what I did. I voted on the home phone. I voted on the phone downstairs. I voted on my phone, Mom's phone.
Yeah, so
12 times on each. So
12 times. There you go. So Michael Waltrip, you have Josh Mabe and his Twitter followers to thank. And Josh, what's your Twitter?
Mabe. Underscore Josh.
Mabe _Josh. So what are you going to say about Michael?
Oh, and also Michael Waltrip's from Owensboro, Kentucky.
That's right.
Oh, and another news right out of actually Louisville, Kentucky. Ben Rhodes, the hometown Louisville, Kentucky driver. He won the NASCAR K&M Pro Series East Championship this year.
Wow.
Their final race was last night.
Well, congratulations to Ben Rhodes, a hometown boy from Louisville. Got done well. So let's switch gears for a second. You know, I've been reading a little bit because I know that you love NASCAR and whatnot. I've been reading about Tony Stewart. Now, since the last time we spoke, a lot of stuff has happened.
Yeah, a very rare and unfortunate situation. But what happened, last time we talked, he was sitting out because of the accident. He came back racing. He sat in the media center. He apologized. He was emotional. He said, "This will affect me for the rest of my life." And he said he sent flowers to the funeral home and all that. But then they were investigating the case. The police department in Ontario, New York, turned it over to the grand jury.
And he said there's too much speculation. After some evidence, we're going to turn this case of Tony Stewart over to the grand jury. But the grand jury did what?
The grand jury cleared Tony Stewart innocent.
They found him innocent. Yeah.
Yeah, and also determined that Kevin Ward Jr., the young sprint car racer who Tony ran over, had some marijuana in his blood.
Oh yeah, the autopsy showed that he was. Yeah, I just don't get that because wow, And I read on AOL News, and I'm not an AOL, but I just was surfing the web, that he said he may never ever. Let me break it. Oh my gosh! You know what I just noticed?
What?
You're having the same tick I had when I was 14. You got the kind of roof tick, right?
Yeah.
That was a pain in the butt. Yeah, that will go away in about 4 or 5 months. But anyway, back to this. I read on AOL that he may never ever race sprint again.
Yeah, and I just read that too on jski.com, which is a source for all NASCAR information. I think because of that, he's had 2 incidents in the last. He races sprint cars all the time. That's something that he
loves it.
Yeah, he always wants to race. So 2 incidents happened in the last 2 years.
What was the other incident?
Besides the one that he killed the guy. Last year he broke his leg in a sprint car wreck and had to sit out the rest of the season.
I got to tell you, and I think I talked about this on your last episode of the Racing Source. Back in 2000 in Brooklyn, Michigan, it was a Winston Cup race, and Tony Stewart, I was supposed to interview him for a show I was doing on FX, and he was walking on crutches, and he broke his foot for tripping over a dog.
Yeah.
Well, so he's broken his leg or foot again. Wow, how about that?
Yeah, that was last year. Oh, and let me add something to that. I was talking to Jimbo a couple weeks ago. Mm-hmm. Jimbo.
Our friend Jimbo?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, and he said that, and I was talking to him about the accident.
Right.
Because he asked me, what do you think about the accident? And I said, well, Tony Stewart didn't mean to run over the guy. That's always been my opinion. I don't think he would ever do that. And then Jimbo said that he might question the media, he might joke around with the media, he might be in a pain in the butt sometimes, but he is not a murderer. And,
right.
I believe that. He is not a murderer. And I support the grand jury's decision.
Right.
He didn't do anything wrong.
No, look.
The guy got out of the car and ran on the track.
Yeah, and when he was his engine revved up, you have to sometimes, I know, driving to Florida or to Hilton Head and those hills in Knoxville and carrying a load of music gear back in the day, we get it to a curve in those mountains, I'll have to speed up to maintain control of the vehicle. So I totally get it. No, I mean, I've read everything about Tony Stewart. He can be a hothead. He can be a real wiener sometimes, but he's not. He did not purposely kill that guy. So that is done. He's cleared. He says he may or may not ever run sprint cars,
which are the dirt tracks.
The dirt tracks, which he loves. He loves it, but he can't do it. He's having a hard time driving his regular.
And he also owns a dirt track, Eldora Speedway.
Ah, jeez.
But he's going to, I imagine he's going to continue to work at that. He's not going to get rid of that track.
He's from Indiana, right?
Yeah.
He's a good friend of the Bob and Tom Show, which I will be on the Bob and Tom Show this coming Wednesday to promote a show that I have in Bay City, Michigan at the State Theater. Look, you notice my new shirt?
Prank It Up, yeah.
I got my Prank It Up shirt. We're going to get Josh some Racing Source shirts coming up soon.
Yeah, and we have a whole bunch of them out there.
Yeah, we do have a whole bunch. We'll talk about that on another show. So you were telling me in the truck on the way over here that the Nationwide may not be Nationwide anymore.
It won't be. Beginning next season, Nationwide is going to sponsor Dale Earnhardt Jr. in the Sprint Cup Series. And Xfinity, Xfinity and Comcast, they have reached an agreement with NASCAR to take over that series. So beginning next year, NASCAR's second top series will be known as the NASCAR Xfinity Series.
Well, there you have it, folks. A lot of stuff going on. We got Michael Waltrip on Dance with the Stars. We got The Chase. We got Tony Stewart clear of any misdoing in that trial. We got Xfinity taken over. So they're going to take over Nationwide no more next year, and Nationwide is going to focus all their monies and energies on
Dale Jr.
Dale Jr. So there you have it, guys.
One more thing real quick.
One more thing. Let's wrap it up.
I got to say this. That with Xfinity taking over NASCAR, it's going to be like it's going to bring a new era because Xfinity is like much different from Nationwide. So I think there's going to be different type of promotions, and because Nationwide did a whole bunch of promotions with the drivers and stuff, it's going to be a little bit different. But anyway, if you want to see the race tomorrow, it's on ESPN.
ESPN, check out prankitup.com. I'm going to be giving away some shirts. Be on the lookout for Joshua's shirt, the Racing Source. And wrap it up, Josh.
All right. Thanks for watching the Racing Source. We're here for you from Daytona to Championship. We're here for you. Good night, everybody.
High five on that.